we are the Film Garage 208 podcast. I am Sarah Guthmiller.
And I am Daniel Guthmiller.
Yes. Welcome to the Film Garage 208 podcast.
Welcome.
The podcast that celebrates the ingenuity and creativity of small business owners. In each episode, we dive into the stories of creative entrepreneurs who have successfully blended their passion for artistry with the challenges of running a business.
That's it. That's what we're going to talk about today.
That's what we're going to be talking about. This podcast that we are starting, we intend to interview other small businesses in town and just learn more about them.
Yeah, there's a lot of different creative professionals around and so many different kinds of jobs. So we wanted a platform where we could just talk to people and hear about what they do, their insights, the good and the bad, the ugly, and just talk story, really. So
we aspire for everyone, to have a takeaway from each podcast. We don't want them to just walk away being like, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah, I think if you're listening, you'll find it insightful to some extent. And we probably will go off on tangents and other stories. But
that's inevitable.
Just talk about a little fun dirt here and there. So
so
this will not be a boring podcast.
No.
Hopefully.
This is a chill, laid back, but slightly professional podcast.
Yes, exactly.
So I guess to just learn a little bit about me and Daniel and the people who will be talking on this podcast every week and interviewing small business owners. So I am Sarah.
Tell them about us.
Let's see.
You can take this one.
Okay. So for us, I guess it's starting all the way back in college. We both got our bachelor's degree in marketing at Idaho State University. And after graduating, we wanted to get out of Idaho, just as simply as that. Dan had some ties to Hawaii since he was born there and had some family. So we decided that Hawaii was going to be the place. So we sold everything that we owned right out of college. And we just shipped our car and our cat and like 4 luggages to Hawaii and started fresh. So for the last 6 years, we were in Hawaii. We worked full-time jobs, hustling. You gotta work your butt off to make that money in Hawaii and survive.
Yeah, I think anyone who lives in a city environment would understand.
Place. Yeah, so we're working our butts off, and we were into photography on the side. I was the Insta girlfriend that would make my boyfriend take photos of me constantly, and
I was the Insta boyfriend.
He was the Insta boyfriend.
Taking the photos.
It was in college that you had actually gotten like a camera, and that grew with us in Hawaii since it was just such a beautiful place. And there's just a lot of art there, a lot of photographers and a lot of creativity all around you. So it made you want to go and take photos, and it was just really pretty. So that progressed to, more cameras, new education.
Some point along the line there, we kind of made the switch from this is just a hobby, taking photos, to
we can do this.
Let's figure out how we can make this work full time in the long run. That's when it got serious.
At least to make some money off of it versus just a side gig.
Yeah.
And so that is where it shifted to Craigslist, and Dan had put up ads on Craigslist for small photo shoots.
Yeah, I think the very first ones were engagements, like proposals.
Yes. It was.
In Hawaii, we didn't realize at the time, but people do a lot of surprise proposals there.
They do.
Which makes sense now when you think about it. But we found actually like a small market of people who were wanting us to do surprise proposal pictures where we would be camped out on the beach beforehand or on a hike. We did a couple beach, a couple hikes, both times basically just being sneaky along the way and looking just like a random person, trying to get these candid
surprise engagement
photos, which was fun.
Yeah. So that was really fun. That got us really inspired too, where we were like, I want to do like beach setups and proposals and like a whole business out of that. So many businesses.
That was the first thing that forced us really like out into the world when we were doing photo shoots versus just at the beach or I don't know, like where I'm taking a picture of you. And it got a lot more serious when people had other plans and other intentions. And they're like, I'm spending $3,000 to come to Hawaii for this trip to propose. So like they don't want this moment to be messed up. And that's where stress got more stressful, but more
it was fun.
Yeah.
So we were doing that. And then we evolved into video. We were doing video stuff and just learning how to master cameras. And what did we
Kind of
get
just
into
started
next?
off with
small businesses.
Yeah, we did a few nonprofit things in the start, just trying to get some.
That's right.
We worked with Surfrider
Surfrider,
Foundation. Pretty
some
much
church
anything that we could
stuff.
get our names out there. Yeah, we worked with some churches doing
Just
sermons.
internal videos, sermons. It was like right after the COVID time. So that was also a big shift in when things were changing was
Yes.
COVID. Tourists left. They were no longer coming to the island. That little connection we had of people coming that weren't locals was now kind of gone. And also within that, with doing the video work, we had some friends that we worked with that were in more of the nightlife
Like
scene.
local musicians,
Local
DJs,
musicians.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And so that got Dan into like the clubs, or what was it like?
Pretty much event
like
recaps where I'd go for an hour or two and record the main DJ for the first part of his set and then make a minute recap they can post just for social media, and that's it. And
Yeah.
usually we're just freebies because they never wanted to pay someone to come do that, because there was usually always a hungry videographer
There's
ready
always
to
someone
come in.
willing to do it free.
So those were free but fun because you got to go on stage, you got to
Just
I
the
don't know,
experience.
just see like a whole event from a different point of view.
Yeah, for sure. The other side.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, those talented musician friends, we were doing music videos for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so doing music videos, that kind of got a little bit of attention, and posting it on Instagram. We started getting tourists now who wanted to come for music videos.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be where we would get a message on a Monday saying like, hey, I'm going to be here on Wednesday. Can we film a video? So it would literally be last minute on a whim with someone you don't know.
Yeah, it was always off the cuff. We never
so-
had more than 2-3 days to plan
Yeah.
an idea. And at first it was really frustrating because I was like, "Wow, you're only giving me 2 days. How am I supposed to make something cool in 2 days?"
Literally.
But I guess that was probably where it forced us to just be better.
Yeah, you got to
and
be on
work
your feet.
faster
And we started using different connections and different people we had met along the way, like using different venues of places that we had met. Like, I don't know. It was just really cool that everything seemed to kind of fall into place.
Yeah, it was funny when you try to do something creative like that was like a lot of times a no budget video, but you had so many people that always wanted to help once you reached out with the idea. As long as it was a good idea,
Yeah,
then they were usually on board.
typically.
People like to help.
Yeah. So yeah, that was always really great. So we did the videos,
Yeah.
and then that was kind of where we were at, was really music videos. And then I became pregnant, and that was kind of when our whole life had to change. We're in Hawaii, and it was just us. We didn't have close family there for help. And, it just can't be feasible with a child on your own. And so that's when we knew we had to make a big life change. A child's already a big life change. But we sold, once again, almost all of our stuff, except for all of the camera gear. And mainly camera gear. Maybe like 4 more luggage came back with us, and
Pretty
our
much.
child and our car and our cat and a dog now. And
Yep, brought back a dog.
and and so now it's just made us have to live a different life of not being in a 9-to-5 locked in schedule. Now we get to kind of live our lives, and we get to enjoy our time with our child and explore our own profession.
And put more into this.
Yeah, we want to do what we want to do. I don't want to work for someone in corporate somewhere. I mean, we've done a lot. We've done a lot. There's been a lot of cool change and growth, and even in our own personal skill. And having that opportunity to focus on our business and craft has been awesome. Awesome. And spend the time with family and our child. So,
It has been. Yeah, I think that's the best. That's definitely been the best benefit of this business, and why we started it was just to have the time with Eve, and to be able to enjoy those moments.
So that is who we are in a very short bit of who we are in the last 10 years. So we hope that you will join us weekly for new podcasts where we will talk to other business owners and learn more about them and all of their stories. Everyone has such unique paths of what got them to where they are now. And it can be pretty inspiring. And I feel like I don't know that much about other people, and I would like to know more.
I agree. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there doing cool things, and those things don't get celebrated enough.
Yeah.
I know that's one thing that we try to focus on is like celebrating those little things, and that's what keeps that motivation going. And hopefully doing this podcast, people see that and can find that motivation through these stories and just enjoy them. I mean, it's not like all these stories have to be motivational and deep. It's just
we want you to enjoy yourself while you're here.
Yeah. Lighthearted conversation.
Lighthearted while getting to know your neighbor in Idaho Falls.
And probably realizing how similar you are to people.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, so that is about me, Sarah, and Daniel. So stick around with us.
We'll have episodes dropping weekly.
Yes.
We're planning on Mondays.
Planning on Mondays.
Mondays as of now.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.